Will Kamala wake up? We're talking Miss Marvel, the New Mutant number 3 today on The Newest Mutants! Hi, I'm Laz, the oldest mutant, and I read comics so you don't have to. Before we get into the story, don't forget to hit like and or subscribe. With that, let's get mutating. Our story begins in the dreamscape of Kamala Khan. She is riding on the board of one of her fan-fictional characters, Dr. Surfer. In Ms. Marvel's narration, she describes how her bestie Bruno thinks she can find the answers she needs from her creation in her dreams. We shall see. Kamala asks where they're going, and Dr. Surfer says he cannot give her the answers she seeks. Kamala says they'll both be surprised. Dr. Surfer gives her quite the response, as you can see here. He tells her he's a reflection of herself. Kamala is concerned that people are telling her she's many things now, and she doesn't know if she can be them all. She's scared. Cut now to the Orchis lab under Empire State University, where Kamala is currently enrolled in school. Dr. Gaiha is discussing her plan to tap into mutant telepathic networks. They want to use Ms. Marvel as a host for their tech. They're trying to send a telepathic bomb that will destroy the synapses of those in the telepathic network. Of course, the plan hinges on Ms. Marvel allowing this telepathic bomb through her telepathic firewall. Very crucial step. Omega Sentinel is skeptical. And that's when Dr. Gaiha hacked Omega Sentinel and sends her to the ground in pain with electrical shocks. Omega Sentinel is mad, of course, having always suspected Gaiha of treachery. Dr. Gaiha explains to her that if Omega Sentinel tries anything against her, they both die. Back now in Ms. Marvel's marvelous mind, Kamala is experiencing a scene from her life. She sees it as a pretty mundane day. Kamala says she loves her friends, and the Surfer says that they love her back regardless of her heroics. She's a little weirded out by watching herself in the third person, so Dr. Surfer turns it into a 3/4 TV screen/film. Suddenly, someone throws popcorn on her. We cut now to Bruno, who figures out that something is wrong, and he tries to wake Kamala up. This is when he notices the bug that was placed by Natika on Kamala. Back inside Kamala's mind, she begins to fight a giant spider with Spider-Man's face, and then Captain America comes out of nowhere claiming that muties are no friends of his when Kamala calls him Steve. Dream Captain America is saying the path is meant for those dedicated to good over evil. Kamala says she fights for what she believes is right. Then Captain America turns into this dark specter and tells Ms. Marvel that she's not their enemy, but their competition. And then the specter comes at her with an offer to unlock their destiny, to unlock her mutation. Back to the Orchis lab and Dr. Gaiha, whose computers have now been hacked by Bruno, genius. Omega Sentinel is like, haha, you just got hacked. Dr. Gaiha tries to act like it's not a big deal. Very overconfident. Inside the continuing battle within the mind of Ms. Marvel, her mutation is tempting her with the unlocking of her powers to allow the X-Men to see her as an equal. Kamala feels this is just way too easy. And finally, the quote-unquote mutation slips up and is like, I could make you a god. That's enough for Kamala. Back to Dr. Gaiha, who says, oh, she's resisting this Trojan horse. Dr. Gaiha figures out where the hack is coming from, and she says it's coming from the dorms. That's when she sends her drone army to find Ms. Marvel. Back to Kamala. She's telling her mutation that it's not about the powers, it's about why they fight. We cut to Bruno with a sleeping Kamala. He's trying to wake her up. He feels very helpless since he can't do anything for her inside her mind. Once again, we are back with Kamala, and she's telling her mutation now that her powers don't define her. They're a testament to who she is. And back in the world of the awake, we are with Bruno once again, who has sit Kamala up, put on some anti-facial recognition technology in a very Weekend at Bernie's-esque scene. And of course, Bruno references the movie here, so this is good. I like it. The drones, they don't detect Kamala. In Dreamland, again, Ms. Marvel, she's having it out with her mutation, who is calling her a fraud. But remember, we're in Kamala's head. She's got backup. Characters of fanfic, assemble. And finally, Kamala wakes up. Bruno is like, you don't know what I've just been through. Then a Sentinel attacks. And that's the book! This is the part of the episode where I like to thank you for making it this far. And here is where I would love to speculate on Ms. Marvel's mutation. What could it be? Is this starry figure any clue? Or is it just a one-time quote-unquote fraud? This is going to be a huge point in Kamala's development and likely the focus of a Ms. Marvel series at some point. But what do you think? Let me know in a comment. Now, back to the Newest Mutants. Time now to give credit where credit is due. Check out our variant cover right here, done by Terry and Rachel Dodson. This is, of course, a variant of Uncanny X-Men number 139. Instead of Kamala, it had Kitty Pryde, so pretty cool. The A cover was done by Sarah Pichelli and Matthew Wilson. You can check it out right here. Nice. Story by Iman Vellani, Ms. Marvel herself, and Sabir Perzada. Artists are Carlos Gomez and Adam Gorham. Color artist is Eric Arcaniega, and our editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics is CB Cebulski. Time for our takeaways, and really our takeaway is about the character of Kamala Khan. She was offered quote-unquote godhood, and she declined, and that's a good thing. Rather than wanting to force her mutation out, she opted for being who she was. She stuck to her morals and ethics, and that was a turning point in the mental battle. While this is a little tropey, I like it because let's face it, Kamala Khan loves fanfic, and so this trope feels right at home, right here, and exactly the kind of thing that Kamala would do inside her own mind. So that's my take. I like it. Time now for my top 3 panels. Number 3 belongs to this small panel of Dr. Surfer with such a great little hero monologue. I love the lines and the pose. It's so simple, but it's such a classic looking comic image. Please enjoy it. Very nice. My second favorite panel is the Weekend at Bruno's panel. This is hilarious to me. I love the reference to Weekend at Bernie's. This is a clever gag that probably dates me, but it works so well for Bruno and Kamala. Just enjoy this silly panel in the middle of a very serious situation for Ms. Marvel. Finally, my favorite panel, Characters of Fanfic Assemble. This is a great image with Kamala's creations. I don't know all of them. I don't even know if they've even been named. I won't even attempt to name them. However, I just love the craziness of this situation. It's really cool. Let's get this as a comic book, right? And that's it. That is the show. And this is usually where I like to show off a book related to the comic. And well, I don't have one. Instead, I'm going to show off a brand new comic. And this is the Resurrection of Magneto variant. Look at that. That's awesome, right? And this comic cover was done by John Tyler Christopher. I love how the red just takes up the entire cover. I have a similar issue with Vision on it, but this is just awesome work. Great work. Join us next time, however, for Dark X-Men number 3 on The Newest Mutants. And that's it. We're done.